Friends, good evening. It is the 26th of February, 2025, and we pick up again on Jake and the Hobo, My Summer of Love. This story, as I've spoken before, is about a 16-year-old girl fleeing her impoverished home in the middle of the night and meets Erasmus P. Hobbs, a good Samaritan, a veteran, a professional hobo who lives in his handmade RV called Emma Goldman with his wise dog Socrates. In the summer of love, my world had changed, and I learned something I never thought possible, and that was to love myself. So in these adventures, I've enjoyed sharing with you on this book. And in this particular chapter now, Erasmus P. Hobbs recovering from a gunshot wound by a cop who ostensibly tripped and discharged his gun. So many stories. But in this adventure now, they're on their way to Sedona. To Sedona where Erasmus will meet his friend, a healer, a medicine man by the name of Hattie from the Navajo tribe. And so we pick up today on page 197. In Sedona, beautiful Sedona. I agree, but it's a legend. Don't you love how majestic this is? Wherever I am, I marvel at the millions of years it took to make this. We sat on the rocky outcropping overlooked Cathedral Rock. I was mesmerized watching the landscape, the clouds rolling by and the play of orange, purple, and red sunlight through the clouds. Erasmus, I could sit here forever and be thoroughly enchanted by this. It's sublime, and tomorrow, maybe, you can hike up there. Erasmus, this has been one extraordinary journey these past few months. Extraordinary? That is an understatement. The past 3 months have been a maelstrom of good fortune, happiness, and incredible surprises. Sedona is famous as a vortex, a place of incredible energy and transformation. I thought to myself, yes, more than anything, I want a transformation to make all of Erasmus's illnesses disappear. The mesas were stunning in the sunset. The colors of the sandstone constantly changed from ruddy to ruby bright in the evening sun, thanks to the extraordinary magic of color and light in Sedona. Erasmus says, it takes my breath away every time and fills me with humility. This transformation took millions of years of wind, rain, erosion, and sunlight. This land was all part of a vast ocean. He reached over for a piece of sandstone and brushed back the dirt. If we scrape away the outer layers, we can see the remains of the clams, snails, fish, and trilobites. We're only a tiny part of this story, and one day we'll be part of these fossils. It's a good reminder of the impermanence of life and, my mortality. All of our adventures, like the girls in the car accident we helped in getting shot, must have given you a taste of your mortality. Absolutely, he said. My mortality was served up big time, though the hardest thing of all was allowing people to help me. Really? I've always valued my independence and freedom. I hate to rely on others and letting others take care of me when I'm sick or in the hospital. It is difficult. Perhaps I'm afraid, he added quietly. It almost makes me feel old. I let out a deep sigh. Ain't a damn thing old about you, Mr. Erasmus P. Hobbs. We sat on the bench overlooking the vast canyons where the sun was setting. Despite the near disastrous and all the catastrophes, I was at peace. I took out my wooden flute and played Greensleeves. Emma Goldman was exquisite in the red sunset light, and I saw how she had come to life. Erasmus said, she is a beauty and embodies the spirit of the great revolutionary, Emma Goldman. While he was sketching the valley and the vistas, I went inside and made a dinner of seitan, sloppy joes, and sesame kale salad. Erasmus made a small fire. It cracked and popped with the dry juniper wood beneath the stars that were brightly strewn across the sky, and a shooting star blazed across the horizon. Look, a falling star. Yes, and a meteor shower following. One Native American story says good fortune will follow when you see a shooting star. I wished on the falling star with all my might. It was a straightforward wish, an impossible and simple wish that the road for Erasmus and I would never end. Erasmus took a bite of his dinner and said, "Jake, this is delicious. You are an extraordinary chef. I learned from the best. By the way, I have a surprise for you." "What is it?" "Jake, it wouldn't be a surprise if I told you. A hint." Zoom! That's a bit enigmatic. We stretched out our sleeping bags and ground mats with Socrates snuggled between us. Starlight danced across the sky, a cool breeze blew, and I knew everything would be all right. It had to be. "Sueño con angelitos," he said as he tucked me into sleep. I awoke shortly before sunrise and was surprised Erasmus's bedroll was gone. I made coffee and sipped it while watching the sunrise. I did yoga on the rocky outcropping and overlooking Cathedral Rock and wondered what the surprise was today. Every day with Erasmus was a surprise, but what was this special one? Erasmus came back from his walk. "Good morning, sunshine. I took a walk along the mesa to watch the sunrise. I didn't want to wake you up. Today is the day for the surprise. Are you ready?" I'm always surprised at everything that happens to us, so why should today be different? This will be a mystery, but in order to do this, will have to be a trust exercise. Trust. That word always lingered on my tongue and in my brain. I grew up fearing and mistrusting people. I never been able to trust those who were supposed to protect me. My mother, Sunny, rarely had a sunny day in her entire life, and her life was a trail of mistrust and betrayal. Because this is a trust exercise, I'll blindfold you. Wow, like a real trust exercise? A genuine trust exercise. He put a blindfold over my eyes and helped me climb into the passenger seat. I smelled the morning air clean and heard the sounds of blue jays and phoebes. We drove further away from town and the wind blowing through the canyon got stronger. "Do I get any clues?" "All your clues are around us." "Ross, sometimes you're annoyingly enigmatic," I said with a laugh. We stopped and Erasmus got out and opened my door. "Take my hand, Jake. The surprise is almost here." Blindfolded, he led me along, and I heard him talking to somebody. I heard a door open, and I sat in a chair and was strapped in. "Jake, are you ready? Take off your blindfold." I took off the blindfold and realized I was suddenly in a helicopter that was lifting off. This is my friend Adam, and he's going to take us for a ride. I can't believe this. No way. This is the first time my feet have ever left the earth except to dance, jump off a cliff, and go swimming with you. Erasmus, you sly dog, you sneaky, wonderful you. Jake, happy almost 17th birthday from Adam and me. We soared through the canyons of Cathedral Rock and swirled above the valleys surrounding Sedona. The colors swiftly changed as the helicopter shifted and turned from right to left. "Erasmus, look at these shades of red. I didn't even know there were this many." Then Adam headed towards the Grand Canyon. "Hold on tight." My stomach was doing flip-flops, and I was sure my eyes would almost pop out of my head. I was lost for words. Erasmus had a huge grin and looked like a kid on the biggest roller coaster. He shouted out, "Yahoo! Thank you, Adam." Adam called out, "Everyone okay? We're going for the next big turn." We roared along the riverbanks and soared. up to the highest peak, and at the last run we got the most extraordinary view of the entire canyon and flew up to Point Imperial, the highest point in the canyon. This is over 8,000 feet tall, taller than any mountains near here. Look down and the people are rafting on the Colorado. I was spellbound and couldn't believe what I saw. From the valleys below to the tallest peak, and then we came down on the top of Airport Mesa. I couldn't move. I didn't know what to say. My whole body was buzzing. Adam said, "Wasn't it a blast?" Beyond words, Adam. Totally beyond words or anything I've ever seen. Thank you. Erasmus told me what a fabulous person you are, so I had to meet you. And it's always fun being someone's first helicopter ride. My head was spinning, and though my stomach was a bit queasy, I was exhilarated. I had gone to the heavens in Adam's helicopter, soaring above Sedona and the Grand Canyon. Erasmus, Socrates, and I had been like angels flying to heaven. Now down on earth, I took off my sandals. I needed to walk barefoot on the ground. This was the best, most amazing, outrageous trip. Erasmus said, "Yes, it was. But even more extraordinary was the smile on your face." We danced on the plateau edges, overlooking the mesas, and Erasmus stretched his arms out wide. Like in the movie Zorba the Greek we saw last week, he clapped and danced. We danced the dance of life. And Socrates, our playful, wise sage, also danced and leaped. I thought I would never come down. Downtown in Sedona, we pulled into the Natural Food Store, a place to meet people and shop. All kinds of people were there, hippies and New Age folks, and the place smelled of incense and patchouli. When we returned to the parking lot, I couldn't believe what I saw. Erasmus, do you see what I see to my left? Am I having one of those weird New Age Sedona moments? We both did a double take. How is this possible? Yup. We were having one of those New Age vortex moments. "Roshi!" I called out. I was dumbfounded. My dear Jake. He stood up to his full 6'5" tall. He wore a long purple silk shirt and folded his hand in gasho as he said, "I missed you." I bowed and hugged him, though I was completely confused why he was there. My confusion grew when I saw a sojourner coming out of the store with a basket of fruit. "Soja!" I called out. She looked regal with her long dreadlocks entwined with rainbows of ribbons, wearing gold hoop earrings and a long flowing saffron and purple dress. The bright sun made her face seem even more radiant than usual. She saw us and broke into a wide smile. "My dear children," Jake and Erasmus. Socrates was sitting on the bench and barked. "Of course, Socrates, my dear friend," she said, as she picked him up and held him. I was overwhelmed. "Roshi, Soja, it's incredible to see you. Without being rude, why are you here?" "We got a call from Erasmus at the hospital in Texas," Roshi explained. "We would have come sooner, but we needed to wrap up a few things. Also, this is serendipitous. Our friends are making a new Buddhist shrine here, and we haven't been on a road trip in a long time. Plus, to be honest, we missed you." I looked at Roshi and Sojourner. "Yeah, but why are you really here?" I said, with my arms crossed. Sojourner took my hand. "Jake, what Roshi said was true. However, we also know Erasmus was getting sicker, and with the shooting, it made a bad situation worse." I bit my lips. I was afraid. "No, Erasmus is getting better. Ever since we left Odessa, he's been getting stronger. Right, Erasmus? Tell them you're getting better." "Let's sit down under the shade and continue this. I'm the one who hasn't been completely candid with you. The last 3 months," he said, "has been extraordinary. When I first met you in West Virginia, I thought I'd just give you a ride home, but it was kismet. And we leave at page 202, Jake and the Hobo, My Summer of Love. In this extraordinary journey of Erasmus P. Hobbs, Jake Meadows, Roshi Kanji, and Sojourner, and their adventures, their journey through life. So thank you for watching. This is Namaya. It is 26th February, and I believe it is a Wednesday. And thank you again for watching. And you can find the book by typing Jake and the Hobo, My Summer of Love, and at Vermont Art Poetry Press. Thank you.